From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We have widespread light rain showers making their way into mid-Michigan this evening, and these showers will stick with us as we go throughout the overnight hours. Temperatures here in mid-Michigan not all that bad, still sitting in the mid to low 50s, but take a look at the cooler temperatures already starting to pop up to our west, with some locations in the low 40s to even upper 30s, a sign of what we have in the forecast later on this week. In the meantime, a little bit closer to home, 51 degrees in Lansing and Jackson, 53 for our current temperature in Mason. Again, rain showers will be sticking with us as we go throughout the overnight hours, but temperatures really aren't going to be able to fall all that much. We'll likely wake up to readings in the upper 40s to start off our Tuesday, and that's going to set us up for another warm and mild day. I'll have more details in just a bit. 6 News at 6 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 6.
Families of the victims of the Oxford High School shooting are still demanding answers nearly 3 years since that tragedy. And it is our top story at 6. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones.
And I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Today they voiced frustration with how officials have handled the deadly shooting, saying there needs to be further investigation.
The group says there won't be real change unless we learn exactly how it all happened. Zach Priest is here for you now with the story.
Don't we want to learn from this? This has always been about change, period, nothing else. It's time for our state government to investigate this. Stop hiding, stop making excuses. A Michigan public school was the scene of a shooting.
Families of the victims of the Oxford school shooting pleaded with officials to conduct a state investigation. 4 teens lost their lives that day. Another 7 people were injured, and a community was changed forever. Today, the group is demanding cooperation from all involved, especially people in the district.
Based on the results of the Guidepost investigation, where only a third of the people cooperated at the school, we think it's incredibly key piece of this is to force that cooperation.
Some of the speakers believe the Michigan Attorney General, Dana Nessel, hasn't done enough to push for an investigation. That prompted her to hold a virtual press conference, where she said a new investigation was out of her control.
He offered immediately to help the Oakland County Sheriff's Department in their investigation. They declined. I asked the Oakland County prosecutor if they, desired or were interested in our help. I offered it over and over and over again.
Nessel said the prosecutor also declined, adding that if it were up to her, she would go forward with an investigation. Now, there were criminal investigations into the killer Ethan Crumbley and his parents. All of them were found guilty. In Lansing, Zach Priest, 6 News.
Thank you, Zach. Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard responded to the call for an independent investigation, saying he would be more than willing to participate if the Attorney General launches any kind of review. And he added that a comprehensive government review could help prevent more tragedies in the future. Oakland County Prosecutor Karen McDonald also released a statement clarifying that her office does not conduct this kind of investigation, so it will be up to the Attorney General. She adds her office would fully cooperate.
Well, some of mid-Michigan's most vulnerable residents are at risk of losing access to health care.
Administrators with the Ingham County Community Health Department are trying to come to grips with a $4.5 million deficit in the budget.
Nick Simon sat down with the medical health officer today to talk about how things got this bad and where they go from here. Nick, what did you find out?
Sherry, Siobhan, we got a copy of the most recent financial assessments. You can think of these like a health report, but for a bank account. Well, Ingham County Community Health failed its latest checkup, and here's why. Unreasonable operating budgets, bad staffing practices, and, quote, pie-in-the-sky revenue projections. Those were just a few findings from the new assessment. But Ingham County's top doctor says before you can treat a problem, you need a good diagnosis.
At a high level, yes, there was nothing in there that was, significantly shocking. But it is clear that we need to make significant changes. The reason why we got that report was because we needed an honest, objective assessment of where we were so that we can make those changes.
A team of accountants said that the health center was doing a good job of treating every patient, but it wasn't getting paid every time. That was mostly due to bad management.
I'm hoping that with some new leadership, we'll be able to reforge those connections that has made this a great partnership for decades.
Tensions between the health center and county commissioners has been at an all-time high. A lot of that $4.5 million deficit will have to be made up by the county budget. They say that the mission is just too important to ignore, but that can't go on forever.
And do we let these centers close, or do we extend some additional funds, even though that might make the rest of our county bottom line a little tighter? And we chose the latter.
Now, the latest report shows health administrators where the money is bleeding out from and gives some advice on how to fix it. But in the end, it'll be up to department officials to make these changes. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Nick. Well, a building in downtown Lansing is facing possible demolition after being red tagged by the city. The William Neller building is located at the corner of Grand Avenue and Allegan Street. Now, under local building codes, the city council can order demolition of a building if its value is less than the cost to repair it. Well, the Neller building is worth an estimated $560,000, but the estimated cost to bring it up to code is more than $2.5 million. So there is a hole in the roof and a tree is actually growing inside the building. The city council will discuss the fate of the building at its meeting tonight.
Firearm deer season began on Friday. It's basically an unofficial state holiday, and 6 News wants to hear how this year's hunt is going. 6 News is hosting a virtual buck poll. We want you to send us any photos or videos from this year's hunt so we can share them with all of Mid-Michigan. So for information on our virtual buck poll or to check out the photos and videos we've collected so far, you can also add your own right there. Visit WLNS.com/share.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, unfortunately for the hunters, it doesn't look like we have the best news when it comes to precipitation. We do have a system currently making its way into the area, bringing widespread rain showers to the forecast tonight, and it will linger into the day tomorrow. Things do get a little bit better in terms of hunting as we move into the later portion of the work week. Temperatures really going to be cooling down, cool enough to where we also could be seeing our first few snowflakes of the season. It's about time. It's been quite some time since we had the chance for snow. Our picks on 6M to us from over in Greenland. It looks like we did have a very foggy start to the morning. Of course, with temperatures still fairly mild tonight and the lingering rain showers, it does look like we do have another potential for fog tomorrow morning as well. For more information, of course, you can go to our website, WLNS.com. Of course, go to WLNS.com/share if you want to share your picks on 6 with us as well. In terms of our temperatures, tomorrow actually going to be pretty nice. Yet again, well above average with highs in the low 60s. Thanks to a lovely warm front that will be moving into the area. But again, that high in the low 60s is going to come along with a lot of rain. Things definitely going to be changing up later this week. That same area of low pressure brings a cooler air mass into mid-Michigan. Temperatures on Thursday well below average into the upper 30s. Overnight lows by that time will be around the freezing mark. Satellite and radar shows widespread rain showers beginning to cover the area. Again, warm front draped off to our west will be moving through overnight tonight, and then also as we move throughout the day tomorrow, bringing another round of those mild conditions. But as I mentioned before, enjoy it while you can. PrecisionCast shows that we are likely going to see a little bit of a break in terms of the precipitation overnight, but more light to moderate scattered rain showers as we move into our Tuesday morning. Tuesday evening, dry air starts to move into this low pressure system. We briefly dry things out Tuesday evening and as we go throughout our Wednesday morning before our second area of low pressure moves in. And by Wednesday afternoon, take a look at what's already beginning to pop up just south of the state line. As this low pressure system basically sits on top of our area, it's going to start to wrap some cooler temperatures in. So Wednesday night into early Thursday morning, that's going to be the time frame that we will be watching. Temperatures falling down into the low 30s across the area, so it is likely that we will have a few wet snowflakes flying early Thursday morning, but as temperatures warm throughout the day, that transitions back over into widespread rain. Outside right now, again, just a couple of light sprinkles across the area. Temperatures in Lansing not bad by any means, 51 degrees after a high of 55 and a morning low that was down to 36. Over in Grand Ledge, 52 right now after a high of 56 and a peak wind gust rather unimpressive, only up to 10 miles per hour. Over in Jackson, you can see the roadways are starting to get a little wet. Temperatures at 51 degrees after a high of 56. Temperatures tonight out in terms of the amount of precipitation that we have in the forecast. Good news is we do start to dry things out as we move into the weekend. More chances for precipitation, both rain and snow early next week, but it looks dry for Thanksgiving and Black Friday.
That's what I was thinking. A lot of people going to be traveling for the Thanksgiving holiday and shopping, and so weather's looking good for that.
It's good, and then even when we do have snow, it comes along with the highs in the 40s, so it's going to be melting fairly quickly.
All right. Very good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, Thanksgiving, yeah, it's almost here. But 6 News, we are kicking off another holiday tradition this year, and we need your help.
Yes, we would like to recognize remarkable women right here in Mid-Michigan who make a difference for their families and the community as a whole.
Yes, to make a submission, click on the Remarkable Women section of our website, WLNS.com, and tell us all about the remarkable woman in your life. We will pick 4 women and profile them during Women's History Month in March. You have until December 20th to nominate someone.
All right.